This video is for educational purpose only. No copyright infringement. This copyright belongs to its rightful owner. Credit goes to respective video music composers and singers. This is the lecture of BCom Part 2, Compulsory English. The title of the paper is English for Business Communication under Choice-Based Credit System. In this lecture, we are going to begin Module 1, Oral Skills. Here we know that there are two types of skills of language, or there are two types of communications. One is verbal communication and another is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication means the communication which is done with the help of symbols, and verbal communication is the communication which is done with the help of words. This verbal communication is divided into two types: oral communication and written communication. All of us know that communication is the essence of life. We have to communicate our ideas, our thoughts, our feelings to the other person for the better living life. The communication which is available in written form is called as written communication, like writing letters, and the communication which is available in the form which is done in the form of in oral form, it is called as oral communication. The most common ways of communicating are speaking and writing. In this topic, we are going to focus on oral skills. However, at the very outset, we have to see what are the differences between speech or oral communication and writing or written communication. The first difference between spoken communication and written communication is speech is universal as it is acquired naturally by everybody. Speech is auditory medium of communication. Yes, the first thing we should know about speaking, we should know about speech is that it is universal and it is acquired naturally and it is auditory medium of communication. On the other hand, written communication, everybody does not know writing. One has to take special efforts to learn writing. Writing is a visual medium of communication. Speech communication or oral communication is tonal and articularity differences are marked. These are called dialect variations. Writing is free of variations as it comes only after standardization. Writing is free of variations. There are no variations, but in tone and articulation of uh, speech communication, because of the tone, because of articulation, there are various dialectic variations. Speech is often accompanied by facial expressions, gestures, body movements. Hence, speech expresses more than uttered words. For example, really. The listener gets idea of speaker's expressions from his tone accompanied by the body language. The word really can convey variety of meaning based on its expression, based on its tone, based on the body language accompanied by the speaker. The writer attempts to express everything through words so that there is no scope for variations. For example, it is really surprising to hear this from you. The surprise is expressed through words. Means there will be no variation, only one idea, single idea will be expressed through this sentence. It is really surprising to hear this from you. So speakers make use of pauses and intonations to express thoughts with precision. Speech has prosodic features like rhythm, stress, and intonation. For example, if you want it now, the listener notices confusion of the speaker here. Means here, speakers use pauses, intonations to express thoughts. Pauses and intonations are used. Writing has punctuation marks only and does not have any prosodic features. For example, I really regret to state that I cannot lend you the machine even though I want to help you. No scope for confusion. Means there is more precision in writing. The next difference, the fifth difference between spoken communication, oral communication, and written communication is in most of the cases, speech is spontaneous and hence there is absence of planning. Means there is no planning in oral skills, oral communications. Most of the times, writing is well planned. We get time to think while writing. So, written communication becomes well planned. Speech is possibly only when there is one or more listener present around. Means speech is possible when there is some person to listen. Listener is present there. Writing does not need any listener. It has addressee who may or may not be present at the time of writing. Writing does not need listener. You can write and you can send to the person whom you want to send this message. Immediate feedback is possible as the audience would respond in one way or the other. For example, hey, what is this? My new dress, how's it? Looks attractive, huh? So, here the quick response is possible in oral communication. Immediate feedback is absent as the reader is not present or she is not capable of writing. It's immediate. If you type a message, it is not possible to get the immediate response. If you write later, you cannot expect the immediate response. You will get the response after 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days. We do not know when. So immediate feedback is not available in written communication. It is usually informal and repetitive. The speaker repeats what he she has in mind. जे इन्फॉर्मल असतं, औपचारिकता नसते बोलण्यामध्ये, रिपिटेटिव्ह असतं आणि त्याच्या मनामध्ये जे काय आहे ते तो स्पीकर रिपीट करत असतो. त्याला एक विशिष्ट त्या बोलण्याला ओरल कम्युनिकेशनला फॉर्मॅट नसतं. रायटिंग इज फॉर्मल अँड मोर कॉम्पॅक्ट. द रायटर डज नॉट रिपीट द सेम पॉइंट्स. The same points are not repeated in written communication. Written communication मध्ये एक एक पॉइंट कुणीही रिपीट करत नाही. So these are some of the differences. The next difference is it is informal and the speech has simple structure and colloquial words. This makes it simple for understanding. Colloquial words and simple structure is used in speaking. Colloquial means common words, बोली भाषेतले शब्द आणि साधं सोपं स्ट्रक्चर बोलण्यामध्ये वापरलं जातं. सो इट इज सिम्पल फॉर अंडरस्टँडिंग. Writer is free to make complex construction and the words are delicately chosen as she wants to be precise in his her expression. So, as the writer wants the precision in the expression, so he uses the words with intention. He is free to make complex and complex construction also. So, written communication is more complex and complicated as compared to the oral communication. The 10th difference between oral communication and written communication is speech often depends on the reaction of the audience. The speaker changes the topic or style of presentation according to the feedback she receives from the audience. ऑडियन्स कडून मिळणाऱ्या फीडबॅक वरती स्पीकर आपलं बोलणं बदलत असतो. ही चेंजेस द टोन, ही चेंजेस द टॉपिक, ही चेंजेस द theme of his presentation, the way of his presentation based on the feedback he receives from the listeners. Writer is alone while writing and she has thoughts or ideas to express. This makes him solitary. Means he whatever he expresses, whatever he tells, he is there alone. He does not have anybody to give the feedback. So he is free to write, to express his thoughts, his express his ideas. This makes him solitary. So 11th difference between the speech communication and oral written communication. Speech varies according to the needs and inquiries of the audience listener. Writing is more logically organized. Speech varies. It can lead the path of the planned construction. It has been already planned to talk, speak in a particular topic in a particular manner. It can change according to the need and inquiries of the audience. However, writing is more logically organized. Speech is temporary, writing is permanent. Speech is temporary, it is going to lose. Once the words are spoken, they are lost. Writing is permanent. Whatever you write becomes permanent. Speech is very quick medium of communication. हे फास्टेस्ट मीडियम ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन आहे. पटकन आपल्या मनातलं जे आपल्या मनात जे आलेलं असेल ते सांगण्याचं ते एक माध्यम आहे. रायटिंग इज कंपॅरेटिव्हली स्लोअर मीडियम ऑफ कम्युनिकेटिंग. As compared to it, writing is comparatively slower medium of communicating information. Information communicate करण्याचं ते एक slower medium आहे, एक slow medium आहे. So these are 13 differences between written communication and oral communication. Here we have to go through some types of oral communication in this topic. So here this is the first example of oral communication. Well, it was dark evening. We go home. Don't worry, I will be fine, I said to her. And Ruby had just gone, and I was standing near the bus stop smoking a cigar. Then I saw a car moving very, very fast. I felt something is wrong. Stood straight. This car skidded, dashed a tree on the right. I ran to the car and saw a lady drunken and driving fast. Met an accident. I helped her out and took her to a hospital. So this is oral communication. Somebody is narrating the experience to somebody else, to his friend, to his fellow. So the next is the example of the written communication. How this incident is narrated in the written form. It was a dark night. Ruby had taken my leave on my assurance that I would be fine and she should not worry. I was smoking near a bus stop. I saw a car moving fast towards me. I stood straight. It skidded and dashed a tree on the right. I ran to the car and saw a drunken lady and I took her to a hospital. So these are the two examples of, one is the example of oral communication, another is the example of written communication. So after studying these two paragraphs, what differences we see in written communication and oral communication, we shall discuss those differences in the next lecture. So have a good day, stay safe, stay